That's really crazy that you say that, because that's what I'm saying. Grab your popcorn. Grab your drink. I wish there was like a purple Kool-Aid emoji. Drink. We're diving deep tonight. Okay, now let me be a good content creator, actually. You know? This camera always makes me feel so lopsided. I mean, I am lopsided, but camera makes me feel lopsided. Thanks, Cookie. I'm obsessed with it. My like inner teenager is just thriving. She's so happy because I would have never been able to do this when I was younger. So, oh, good, it is working. Okay, let me just share this link and then I'll wait for a couple more people. How's everybody doing? I hope good. Yeah, Tilly, your inner teen is crazy work. It's exhausting. She's angry, understandably so, but big yikes, you know? How was work? Glad you're off, right? I'm sure. Child went somewhere around here. I'm surprised he's not interrupting us already. Done. Okay. Good. That paycheck's gonna hit nice. I love that. Is this loud? Should I turn this down? I should probably turn it down like a little bit, yeah? Just a little bit. Okay. Well, now it's down. Okay. Y'all, we're gonna talk about some crazy stuff tonight. Hello. Actually, I'll give it like one more minute because I don't want to like, people say that they don't get the link for a while, so I'll give it like one more minute because I'm also going to check a little bit. No wonder. I knew it. I knew he was being too quiet. I knew it because he's being a bad boy. I knew it. I knew he would be too quiet. Anyways, hello, fam. Hello, everybody. I hope everybody's well. I know there's like, yeah, you're busted, buddy. You can come sit up here and hang out with me. There's a million planets in retrograde, so everyone is stressed. So I don't even need to ask how you're doing because I know you're struggling. I know you guys are struggling. It's crazy out here in the streets. Besides that, I don't want to keep reaching for this. I didn't set this up well for me. at all. And that's okay. We have so much to talk about tonight, you guys. I'm just going to get right into it because I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. It's something that like landed in my lap, and then the more that I looked into it, the more that I realized there was other people that felt the same way, and I didn't realize that this was a whole entire linked thing. And everybody knows how Auntie feels about her conspiracy theories. So I do hope everyone's well. Like I said, I know there's a lot of stuff going on. There's just a million things. There's lots of retrogrades, and there's a Chiron going on, and that fucks everybody up. So hang in there. We're almost through the toughest parts of these retrogrades, I think, of this year. It's been a battle. I know it's been a battle. I want to talk about this crazy, and hello. Katie, your paintings should arrive this week. Yes, yours should arrive this week. I want to talk about this wild conspiracy that's going on about like everyone's got a soul, right? We're all hello, Drew the Disney Maniac. Hello, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. We're a bunch of weirdos and misfits and wonderful people here, so welcome. Everybody's got their soul. Some people feel like they've been here before. Some people feel like their life is just a constant like string of lessons. They say that there is 3 types of souls, that there's an earth-based soul, and that there's an interplanetary soul, or a starseed, or an angelic soul. The angelic souls, I don't know if there's a few people I could name, but angelic souls are basically, they literally come from the angelic realm. They just carry frequencies from source, and they are here to like aid all of us in love and compassion and just a greater accepting and loving perspective on earth. So those people are pretty pure. Earth-based souls are designed to like incarnate hundreds to thousands of times, and they're just like constantly tripping through life and learning and growing and evolving. So if you feel like you're just constantly like life is just constantly teaching you lessons, you could possibly be an earth-based soul. But there is, like I said, the interplanetary soul, or a starseed. By the way, I've been sick, so if I cough in the middle of this, I do apologize. I tried to take medicine before to prevent that, but it didn't come back up. Apologize. Starseeds. This is just kind of a like breakdown of what they like to say starseeds have in common. You typically are going to feel like nobody truly understands you. You may have an affinity for the stars, like just a longing and intrigue for the stars and the planets and everything that's above us. And you probably feel out of place, like a fish out of water. Hello, Hope, my love, my darling. Typically, starseeds feel like an alien on Earth, feel like an old soul, very unearthly, like just not of this world. Typically, they have a deeper understanding of the universe in general. Like we can see intentions that people may have right off the bat. Very intuitive knowledge of things that may not make sense why we have knowledge of them, but we just do. Spirituality or like paranormal pulling. You may have psychic abilities or clair talents. So you probably have a really strong intuition. And it probably feels like you are here on Earth for like a mission. It may feel like society's laws and rules don't apply to you and you're just here for something different. There's also a like running thread that a lot of starseeds have in common, which is that they have very unusual childhoods and not just like, you know, dad beat the shit out of you. Not that that should be usual, but oh no. That's what I get for not having a table. Hear me. Love that for me. So glad you guys all got to see that. No, literally, and it was such a good one too. Oh, my cafecito. I mean, thank God I got through those first 2 pages that I was working on. Damn. That's okay. We can keep going. Damn. I really wanted that coffee. I have to make a new coffee throughout this. I know, Bruce. Bear, I don't think you could drink any of that. Anyways. R.I.P. drink. Anyways. There is a awakening, I should say, of people that were a part of the GATE program. And I don't know if any of you guys were a part of the GATE program. I'm very fascinated if any of you guys were. This live stream could go one of 2 ways, depending on if anyone else knows about the GATE program. Were you in it? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? I tried doing I questioned some of my friends and nobody that I'm friends with was in it. So I couldn't get any confirmation from anybody because I'm the only one that I know that was a part of this program. But were any of you guys? Okay. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? The GATE program? Oh, God, this coffee's totally going to stain everywhere, but whatever. Interesting, Ryan. Okay, interesting that you don't remember much from it. Yes, Violet. Okay, also, Violet, I don't think your painting has gone out yet. Your stuff has not gone out yet. Okay, so fantastic. I know, Bear. I know. Okay, good. We have to keep talking about this then. I cannot let the distraction distract me. That's what's happening. Oh, the distraction was trying to distract me because I literally almost just told myself, like, fuck, I might just end this live stream because I made a huge mess, but I can't end the live stream. It's okay. Okay, so do you guys know what the GATE program is? It was the Gifted and Talented Education program. So a lot of students throughout the 80s and 90s were selected in elementary school. And we were told that we were like gifted and we were taken to these like windowless and usually dimly lit rooms. And mine was in a trailer, like a portable trailer. And we were given tasks and puzzles and these tests. And we would Brian. That's amazing. That's fantastic. And that's love that. Yes. Okay. So we were given tasks and puzzles, and we were given these like super old headphones, and we would put on these headphones, and you would have to listen to these tests and these really odd frequencies, and you were asked to predict these like patterns and shapes and colors. And I know, bubbies, I know. So the portable, all the like the portables never had any windows, and they were always like super small, and they would create these cubicles, and there would only be a couple students, if any. Like sometimes you would be the only student in this entire portable, and they would have so we would use super old computers. And I everything that I'm gonna like tell you guys that I've written down, I remember all this stuff. And it was crazy because as I was going through my research to like all these people are coming forward, and we're coming together, and we're all remembering that we don't remember these things. And then the more that we all talk about it, the more that memories surface. And then it's like, oh my God, I do remember all of that stuff. And only people who were in the GATE program, who were pulled out of class and brought into these like trailers or other classrooms, remembered these things. And we were told that we were like, they would tell our parents that your student is super gifted. And these, we were given these like Dixie cups with this pink drink in it. And you wouldn't spit it out. You would completely like drink this pink drink. And these hearing tests, the like people that have come forward and figured out why, like us not remembering things or us finally remembering things. And the hearing test, that's right, Ryan. Why do you vaguely remember the pink drink? Okay. So this hearing test, they would tell you that it like, okay, you're going to put on these big headphones and do this hearing test. And it's not a hearing test. I can't get this like loud enough. But,
or speech therapy programs while in school. This is the exercise for your own development process designed by you. You should be hearing my voice in your right ear. The first thing you need to know is that was not a hearing test, which is what they told you. This clip is directly taken from a hypnosis program called the Gateway Tapes. And there's a very specific reason why I'm sharing this with you. When I first played this clip for people and connected it to the gifted and talented education programs, this was all completely on a hunch, a weird feeling that I had after listening to these tapes in my mental life and having flashbacks.
So it's like, okay, so it's, I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's really weird and triggering for me to like talk about this and relive these memories, because I didn't know that that was not a normal. I grew up right off the bat. I was just super smart. Like I just understood and knew everything. So when I went into these GATE programs, I was one of the only students in my entire elementary school that was doing it. So I didn't have anybody to talk to about how weird it was, and it didn't make any sense to me, and it didn't sound like a hearing test. And the visual tests did not seem like visual tests, because I'm blind as fuck, and I've been blind since like the 3rd grade, and I've taken visual tests my whole life, and these like visual and hearing tests didn't seem normal to me. And so they always sat weird with me. So when I listened to that, when I was doing this research, I kept tearing up and crying, and I couldn't really understand. Like it's the weirdest, like the weirdest stuff keeps getting brought up. Hello, 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 middle name, hello. So these auditory tests are actually hypnosis tests. And so there was, okay. Most of the kids from the GATE program don't remember these things, and they don't remember testing, and they don't remember the testing that we were given. But we were given these, like, thank you, middle name. I appreciate that. That is very, very kind. I appreciate that. We were given these, like, gnarly tests that you would have to predict things. Like, you just had to predict things, which doesn't make any sense. Like, does that make sense to you guys? Like, I just need you to predict things on this worksheet, and I would do it. And I would succeed, so they kept putting me through the GATE whatever program, and I was so successful. Yes, Abigail. Yes. They would show you, you would have to code. They taught you how to code, and you would code, like decode things, and they would teach you Egyptian hieroglyphics. I remember learning and writing in hieroglyphics, and then they would give you patterns, and you had to predict the patterns, and they would give you numbers that didn't make any sense, and you would just have to pick the numbers, and then you would have to, like, explain why this color means this thing. And they were, I know, sorry, Bruce has a cough. We don't know what it is, but I'm taking him to the doctor tomorrow. So I know it sounds awful. It's terrifying me. I don't know what it is. Trust me, I know it sounds terrible. I know. Trust. We were given these, like, colorful string, like, all jumbled up, and you were just supposed to, like, you could just take it apart, right? Okay. And yes, God, I'm so glad that you guys know what I'm talking about. This is so fucking amazing. This is amazing. It's amazing. Okay, so I would love your guys' input on this. Supposedly, throughout majority of these GATE students who remember this GATE program, we have never broken a bone. We had good grades for the most part, like at least through elementary school. Whether or not it went throughout all of the rest of your school career is debatable. Near-death experience drowning. Usually there's, like, a mole or a freckle on your left forearm. And then I have them everywhere, so, you know. Nightmares of, like, being attacked, and then memories of being watched at night. A near-death experience drowning. Yes. No, you're all good, middle name. You're all good. I love comments. Give me joy. So, that's fantastic. I didn't realize it was you, Cuzzo. Thank you. Love you, Cuz. Bro, I do remember that. That's crazy. I did get the presidential award. That's crazy. Fuck! That's crazy! I forgot about that. Oh my God, I was so smart. I am so smart. Yes. Okay, so do you guys have that in common? Does any of that stuff like resonate with you guys about near death experience, drowning, never breaking a bone, nightmares of being attacked, memories of being watched at night? A lot of us end up having the MTHFR gene mutation, which I have to look more into that because I'm not sure about that. But that's just something that everyone keeps talking about. And then a lot of us don't end up fitting like society's systems. And hell yeah. Okay, sweet. Not sweet, but this is okay. And then a lot of us ended up becoming like artists and musicians and rebels and misfits of society. And the reason I had to talk about Starseeds first before we talked about the GATE program is that there is these like crazy theories that star seeds were put on Earth. Well, that's not the theory. That's facts. Star seeds were put on Earth with like, we've come from other star planetary systems. So like we are in this solar system, and when you guys reincarnate and you come back to Earth, you've only like been in this spiritual realm, but star seeds come from whole other spiritual realms, and when we reincarnate, we come onto this earth because we have a different purpose than the planetary souls, and our purpose is to teach them that there's bigger things, there's bigger ways to think outside of the box that this earth realm has taught you. There's ways to think outside of that, and star seeds are here on earth to teach y'all things. But because we have almost this like cross alien DNA, and we have abilities and we're gifted and talented, then the theory is that the GATE program was basically passed on from like MK Ultra, which is real, and it was a theory for years, and everyone talked about MK Ultra for years, but when they talked about it, there wasn't a name for it, and so there wasn't any proof, and so they just sounded crazy for decades and decades and decades. MK Ultra was a real thing in the 50s, and the government was genuinely testing, like running tests on humans. And so there's the theory that the GATE program has been passed into the schools so that they could basically like scope out the threats to like the normies. Exactly, Ryan. So like they called us talented, but they were really like watching us, and they made it seem like you were chosen to your parents, but like really you were just being flagged because you probably had psychic abilities, you probably had clair abilities and intuitive abilities, and you like gaining power of those capabilities is a threat to what society and wants us to fall in line to. And if it feels like we're a threat, then they have to flag us and control us. And so the theories are that we were chosen to be watched and controlled and monitored, and possible erasure of the talents, because at this point in our lives, a lot of us don't remember. Ding, ding, ding. You said you don't remember. There's erasure of the memories, and the pink Liquid, the theory is that it was just a bunch of fluoride, because fluoride covers your third eye. And when your third eye is clean and open and awake, that's how you can tap into all your abilities. And that's why there's fluoride in toothpaste now, because there's not supposed to be fluoride in toothpaste, because there never used to be fluoride in toothpaste. But now there is, because the government has, because the bad guys have to calcify our third eye one way or another, and they can't just be passing us pink drinks all day, right? And a huge percentage of GATE students are now more than likely autistic, neurodivergent, have ADHD, but still possibly and should have intuitive and clairsentient abilities. So all of these like stories have all just been passed on and passed like down for people remembering this and talking about it just through basically the internet. And there's no like credible evidence that what was doing through the GATE programs in the 80s and 90s wasn't complete and utter creep show. Like, what are we doing? Like, and none of our parents knew or questioned anything, because it was modeled as such a, your kid is so special and we're gonna pull him out of class, to like, they're just so special. And so the nobody questioned anything, you know, like our parents weren't questioning shit. So I wasn't really questioning it either, even though it never sat right with me. It just always felt weird and strange. And I knew that I was smart, but because I was such a little teacher's pet and I was like, I always wanted to be the best, there were other smart kids that I would compete with. And I always thought it was weird. Like, well, then how come those other smart kids aren't in this like GATE program with me? I think it's because I was the only motherfucking one at that elementary school that had any sort of, you know. Yes, that is exactly what the theory is. That's exactly it. The theory is they were weeding out very specific individuals, because the kids in the program, they modeled us as gifted and talented. So they're like, oh my god, they're so fucking smart that they're so gifted and talented. We need them in this program. But they said there was other super smart kids my age that I knew, like, how come they're not over here? But I've always had abilities. Cuzzo, you know that our family's a bunch of brujas, and I think there's the theories, and I believe and I agree that the connections to MK Ultra and just weeding down into more like how can control, we are threats to the system and they need us like stuck in the matrix. And if we are threats to the system, and if we're out here reminding people who are stuck in the matrix that you can get out of the matrix, that's a big no-no. Hello, that's not what we're supposed to be doing. And if they can't control our mind, then they need to like flag us. And so, but yeah, that there's just this many believe and feel like it was, and it still is, their way of harnessing psychic abilities, paranormal abilities, and using these mind control programs to basically erase us of our talents and abilities and flag us for the rest of our lives. And It worked. It worked. This is like such a new theory, and a lot of people are still just talking about it, and we don't really know what to do with it. And I wanted to share this with you guys because I think it's a big reminder that anyone who can relate to what I'm talking about for sure, like Ryan and Violet and anyone else. Excuse me. I forgot. What's up, sir? Oh. I think it's important to tap back into those abilities that you were born with and that you were put on this earth with and reincarnated with. And we are here to teach people things. And I think it's important that we get back to those roots. And especially now in the like political climate and the actual climate that we live in, I think it's really important to remember why we're here. And I know none of us know the purpose, none of us have the answers to life, but I think that's the point. And so, since we don't have the answers, then what is the point while we're here? And I think we've all forgotten as a society, like we forgot the plot a long time ago. And I think we have to get back to the roots of like, it takes a village, just plain and simple. Like, it takes a village, and we should be here for one another, and we should be uplifting and supporting each other, and we should care about people because that's just the thing that we should be doing. Like, I shouldn't even have to explain it, and I know you guys get it, but a lot of society has forgotten the plot, and we've lost direction, and it's hard when you feel so alone and you want to do the right thing and no one else around you is doing the right thing. It's easier to just be a dick. And I think that's part of like, you have to just keep, like, remember why we're here, and don't let the Matrix win, like, stay out of the Matrix, and take those sunglasses off. And like, we have to we just have to like find our path again. We all lost it, but I know it's cheesy, but I know we're all there. We're all there. We all just have to go find that same path again, and then it's so beautiful. I know you guys know. Anyways, I'm going to take this old man out for his you-know-what. And that was all I really wanted to talk about tonight. I've been going down rabbit holes for weeks about this stuff. And it's crazy that so many people all remember the same things, and we all have the same everything. Like, it's a whole band of us coming together, and it's fantastic. And thank you, cuz I appreciate you and I love you. Yeah, that's it. That's all I have for the evening. I hope everybody continues to survive these retrogrades. If you guys want me to talk about like what's going on and why everyone is feeling chaotic in the world, I can totally talk about that. But I feel like when I talk about the planets, everyone just kind of glazes over. But we can talk about that next time if you want. Anyways, I love everybody. I hope everyone's doing well, and enjoy the rest of your night. And we're going into the weekend. And please don't ever forget, if nobody loves you,